2020, when we're sounding the warning bells, our finance minister will come to parliament and literally insult everybody and say to us that
I have for Sam George MP for Ningo Pram Pram Eko PM Kenya. Na Oshe and Semo ko kan ho about Ofori Atta finance minister and president Akufo-Addo ohumbe pa yebeti audio no. Sam George ko dru Kenya no. O kyerɛkyerɛ nsɛm mu kyerɛ Kenyafoɔ ɛma ɔmo nneɛma Ghana ban yɛ ya yɛkɔpie mu IMF. Oma Kenyafoɔ hu nneɛma Ghana ban yɛ ya yɛbɛyɛ debt restriction. Na Sam George kyerɛ ɔmo sɛ aban ne rane family and friends governance ne ade ne na yɛ finance minister yɛ tunufo a wontie ɔyɛ ade bi a ɛbɛbɔ man na yɛ kan wontie. Na Sam George kika ne nsɛm wie yɛ no. Na journalist ne nkrofo no mo radio no so bisa say Kenya asem na wo kana because Kenya for say nsɛm ma Sam George kika no omo new president no omo anya no the same thing no ye just omo say family and friends governance Kenya ban anase Kenya president so asesa na abusuafo aguna ban mo say chom Kenya for kasa omo ntie enti baby omo ya kodru no Kenya for hu say no anhwa yebeye debt restriction ama Kenya for bia tiasi abontin so omuye demonstration on the street of Nairobi enya asem ketwa ndi Sam George kasa no omu say no ade na Ghana face yo omuko IMF beye debt restriction no the same thing na ye president ye ntina Kenya for no say just say sano difference bia nimo there's no difference between Ghana buying Kenya buying because of here ye nso ye face wo Kenya nda enche be debt restriction and crofo demonstration ni na akoye bibia wo ntina Kenya fo na ye bebre nwanwa na omo se saade a ende wo say ye tight ye belt ye enya sa na ye tu Ghana no e bi betu ye because Sam George setting straight mo muti ase say Ghana economy na say atitia pansam anhwe kra e be take ye 10 years and say atima recover audio no wa say yenkoti okasa was Spice FM a radio station in Nairobi, Kenya.
Ghana will need 10 straight years of 100% effective management. 100%, 0% budget deficit. 10 straight years to fix the mess that has been created by this government. In 2019-2020, when we're sounding the warning bells, our finance minister will come to parliament and literally insult everybody and say to us that we're liars because he went on the euro market to borrow 3 billion. He did a euro bond of 3 billion and he had offers of 30 billion.
Yeah,
Oversubscription because of how robust Ghana's economy is.
The fundamentals are good.
Now, you know, it's interesting because people forget that in 2019, there was a meltdown in the rest of the world and they were offering 0% interest, 0.1. Maximum you get was 3%. And Ghana was going and offering 11%. So investors would chase you with the money.
Yeah.
It's good returns. They won't put their money in the US. They won't put their money in European economies because you're offering them 11%. So you come back home and our finance minister will finish and come home and have a kinky party. There'll be a party of food and drinks and they'll thank God that we were oversubscribed. Now it's dollars that came in and they will misuse those dollars. And after they've done that, now the tourist dollars need to go back home because now America has raised is interest rates.
Yeah.
And so that's more attractive now. And so the tourists come and say, can we get our money? We're going back. Now, you don't print dollars in Ghana. You don't print dollars here in Kenya. So you now have to find a dollar. Now, don't forget that because government was borrowing on the local market and borrowing a lot of cedis, to make it attractive for the banks, government raised the base rate. Now, when you need to get the dollars back, you only have cedis. Now you don't even have enough cedis in your central bank. So what does government do? The government of Ghana just tells the Bank of Ghana, print money. So they print money.
Yeah.
When they print money means there's more cedis, more liquidity in the system.
Yeah.
Now, when you have so much cedis chasing very few dollars, basic economics, demand and supply.
Sure.
the dollar begins to rise. Now, anybody who's gotten part of this loose liquidity in the system bears in mind that, look, the CD is no longer a safe store of economic value. So everybody, including the market woman, is looking to buy dollars. And so there's a mad rush for dollars, government having to repatriate dollars, ordinary citizens looking to store value in a foreign instrument. And so then what you then see is the dollar begins to rise. So instead of government being prudent and cutting expenditure and cutting its quote according to its size, it just asks the central bank to print more money. You print more money, it pushes up liquidity. Now, at a point in time, you realize excess liquidity shoots up your inflation. That's why inflation moved from 9% to 52%. Because there's just too much money in the system. So what do you do to mop up inflation? What's the number one principal tool in the hands of central banks? You raise the base rate.
This rate goes up.
And when you raise the base rate, what happens? Government is still borrowing locally. So government has raised the base rate because it wants to mop up liquidity. But government is still going back to that same bank, those same commercial banks to borrow. So now government is borrowing at a higher rate because it has raised the base rate. So at first government was borrowing at 18%, but you've raised the base rate now to 28% to mop up liquidity. So you're going to borrow, the banks are going to borrow to you at 32% now. So you're cutting your nose to spite your face. And so what Kenya needs to understand is that, look, when you see money, it's foreign currency, it's a tourist, it will go back. And so you need to be careful how you run after these dollars because they're not yours. They will go back.
Something will happen.
Absolutely. The creditor will come calling. Even hopefully when we come to government in 2025, we have 4 years. We can't fix the whole mess. It's impossible because it's systemic. Look, the public service has been overbloated. You had state institutions where we had one chief executive who ran the institution. These guys have come called something job for the boys. And they apart from the one chief executive, they create 4 deputy chief executives. So for every position that existed in the civil service, they create 4 deputies and just pumping the people in there. And they're paying them huge salaries. You know, ministries where we had one minister.
Are we talking about Ghana? Ghana in West Africa.
Yes, you have a similar situation here. I want to leave Kenya peacefully. Please, I'm talking about Ghana.
It's all about Ghana. We thank you very much.
All right, Sam George, MP for Ningo Pram Pram, and our teen in Kano. And some more kind in Ghana, how Oko PM Kenya, East Africa, and Oko can same way. Sam George actually near Mamu, send your buying we assess a economy I could do. And Crawford to baby say, oh, and Kawako drew other country, then go so or didn't the country one dance here, actually. But I agree with Sam George. It was so we are seeing now who say na Ghana economy now under this government. Serious, I'm telling you. And your finance minister so be resign few months ni yantininka. What is happening? Nti IABBO, that is Sam George from Kenya. Thank you so much, Sam George. Me see nka uko comment section na send ye Kenya for esi boss Sam George abaswa. Almost bet my future president of Ghana. The guy talk intelligently. That's Sam George for you. MP for Ningo Pram Pram. Oba na wachira wadwin or comment section. Medamu nyina ase.